Hi, this is Dylan Murphy with Navitome, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to the flow of a document from authoring, reviewing, to sharing, and analyzing, and then back to authoring. And so when you create a new document in Navitome, you do it in the authoring space and you do it within the authoring project. So I'm going to click into this authoring project for employee training. I can click add a new Navidoc, and we'll call it new doc, submit it. Now if I clicked on this title here, it would launch me into the authoring canvas. I'm not going to do that now, but that's where you actually create and edit the content. But let's say I've gotten this document to a point where I'm ready to have it reviewed by an author. Before I publish it, I want some expert to review it. I click on Manage, and I go to Reviewers, and I add a reviewer to review this document. So now this reviewer is added. And when they come into Navitome, they're going to click in the review space and they'll see that there's a document here waiting for them to review, one or many, right? And when they click on this, it launches them into that same editing authoring canvas, but they can't actually edit things, but they can comment on it to help the author make the content better. And when they're done reviewing it, they click reviewed and the author knows this thing's ready to be published or I've got some work to do, right? And then they continue to author it. But let's say the reviewer reviewed it and this thing's ready to be published. Now any sharing or publishing of that content is done in the build and share space. And it's done through something called a build. So if I click on new build, you can see I put a title to this build and then I select which type of build it is. And if you click on I'm not sure, you get the attributes of these and you can see what makes sense for what you're trying to do. And we'll dive into this in a future video, but basically you can share these publicly or you can share them privately, and you do it in the build and share space. So let's say I've authored my content, I've gotten it reviewed, and I've shared it publicly or privately in build and share, and now people are actually interacting with it, and I look at how people are working with the document in the analytics section. So I click on analytics and I click on the document, and this launches me into the analytics for this document, and I can see what users are doing as a whole, or I can see what individuals are doing, what survey responses they're giving, what documents they're uploading, etc. And we'll dive into the details of this in another video too. But basically the document's been published, it's live, and you want to see what's going on, you do it in the analytics space. And then just to come back here back to authoring and making this better, things you learn in the analytics of the document can help you edit and update the document and make it better. Right? So let's say you start with a very basic document, you want to see how people work with it, then you go back into the authoring section, and you go back to that document, you add to it, you update it, you essentially act on what you've learned in the analytics. So that's kind of the circular flow of a document in Navitome. And coming up in the next few videos, we'll dive into the details of those spaces. Thanks a lot.